This month, we were also privileged to find out about alumni Steven Nunez, who was selected as a photographer for Rolling Stone. And he was able to cover Lollapalooza, and he continues to pursue his career as a music photographer. And I believe Miss Russo just joined us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Russo. Lizette Sandoval, she was, I believe she was a part of our JROTC program. She is now, has been appointed as the student body president of the University of Illinois for the Chicago Army ROTC. And she is the top cadet out of 9 universities and now leader of the battalion. Michelle Villanueva, she recently graduated from Steinmetz. I believe she was also part of JROTC, and she has been newly appointed as an officer in Monroe, Michigan. At a community event, I had the privilege of meeting 3 officers in the 25th district, and I was surprised to find out they also attended Steinmetz. Lieutenant Roman here on the left in the white shirt, Officer Hernandez in the middle, and Officer Pieri. They all graduated from Steinmetz and now serving in the 25th district. And finally, I wanted to show some pictures of some of our students in action over the summer. At top left, you have a picture of the JROTC program, our color guard, who participated in a national night out for the 25th district. You have our students who took nature walks as part of their Reconnect program, and they're also painting some of the outside tables to beautify the space. You have students who are working on math and solving problems in our freshman sophomore connections programs. And you have our students using our makerspace to make shirts, and also getting hands-on experiences with one of our engineers on how to use hand tools and how to create using the tools that they learned how to use. And then finally, just a reminder, the school starts on Monday, August 30th at 7:45 in the morning. And we will be ready for our students to welcome them back, and excited to be together once again as a school community. And that concludes my principal's report.
Okay, thank you for the report, Mr. Jaramillo. And it's a very long report, and when you wait until the end, it's like you're forgetting a lot of the questions that you had in your mind. So next time I'll write it down. But if anybody has any question for Mr. Jaramillo, this is the time.
Thank you, Mr. Quiles. I do. And it's in regard of the orientation. The orientation is only for the students, and they are supposed to be at school from 9 to 12, or how is that dynamic?
That's a great question. For freshmen and sophomore, it's on a rolling basis. We're available from 9 to 12, but most of the parents usually show up in the morning. We used to schedule it from 9 to 12, but this year we're taking a little bit different approach, because we know that parents sometimes can't stay the whole time with their students. And usually it's mostly freshmen and sophomore who want to stay with their students, and because it's their first time in the building. So to simply answer your question, for freshmen and sophomore, we're open 9 to 12, but it's a rolling basis. So we're going to give the presentations continuously. So anytime the parents show up, we will take care of them and try to get them through as quick as possible through the entire process, and the videos and the introductions and everything else. For juniors and seniors, usually juniors and seniors come on their own. There's no need for parents to come with, but parents are more than welcome to come with if they would like. But that one is a little it's a little less content, because we're not doing the orientation videos and tours or anything else like that. It's just mostly fee payments and uniform and whatever else they need.
Any other questions? Mr. Jaramillo, I have a question. Well, I have a couple, but let me take it from the perspective of the students. It's going to be supposedly at 3 feet distance How is that going to work in a classroom?
Desks are spaced with taking that consideration. Usually desks are spaced probably more than 3 feet in between students, but desks will be spaced out 3 feet around the room. I mean, 3 feet may sound like a lot of space, but it's not. But we also will maintain that space in the lunchroom with a diagram that CPS has provided us on how many students can sit at different size tables and how we're going to accommodate them in different spaces. So, yeah, basically, again, we have to maintain that 3 foot space and distance, and that will be spaced accordingly.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a continue on that particular question, because if you usually when you have a regular classroom without pandemic or nothing, it gets a little bit crowded. But knowing the situation, and if you're gonna bring the desk 3 feet apart or whatever, don't you need more classroom if you're talking about a class that has 30 students?
Yeah, our classes are not programmed for 30 students. In most cases, we tried to program at 26, expecting that we'll have to put additional students in a room. So, we get up to about 28. So most classes will not be in the 30 range, but each class should be able to accommodate 28 desks comfortably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, looking at the situation, okay, say that you're saying that we're not going to have that problem of overcrowded classrooms. But looking at that situation, we might have to go back to the board and say, well, you need to fund another classroom or another teacher, because we cannot accommodate the size of how you want us to break it down. I was thinking about that.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
The other thing that I had a question is that the funds that you say that we received of 100 and something $1,000, um, that money is already in the mix to be spent.
Could you clarify your question? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking.
Well, because I did hear you already have different buckets for different programming or um, allocated in different areas, and I was wondering if that was already money that was allocated and spent already, or you're waiting to have the council determine on a vote on that.
So we were instructed by the Board of Education that that funding needed to be moved into the proper lines. So that funding was moved into the proper lines. And of course, this funding, what we were told that it does not require an LSC vote to approve the use of the funding of how it was being determined. But we did go above and beyond to make sure we had input from staff members and LSC members. But of course, the final transfer of funds has to be voted on by the LSC.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was in mute. Here I was talking. Uh, so what they did was they gave all the principals an open check.
I don't make the policies, Mr. Quiles. We were told to go ahead and plan with our school communities, and that's exactly what we did. We put out surveys to our staff. We used the information that we had on hand. We looked at our priorities. We asked local school council members to be a part of this process. And then we, as a school, prioritized with the guidance of the district to look at our different priority areas using the 9 strategies that CPS had set out for ESSER funding. And using those strategies, we identified the areas of need for our school, and we prioritized the funding to build out those structures. These plans were also reviewed by the network and the district.
Okay. So I mean, because, a couple of years ago, they took money from the schools, and that they did it on their own. Or here we are as a council, the body that's supposed to be either voting on the budgets, and then they take that right away from us as a LSC whenever they feel like it. And this is something that I think, it's not on your attack, but it's on the attack of how the local school councils been moved around to the convenience of CPS. Just an observation. Anybody else has any questions?
Just one question on the space, sir. When we doing physical activities in the gym for the academic day, is that space still considered 30 feet, or what do we have to do?
Yeah, spaces are still considered for 3 feet. We are going to be encouraging our PE classes or physical activity classes to be outside as much as possible, weather permitting. That would be ideal, just to have some fresh air and some more space to spread out and accommodate more classes. But yes, gyms are treated just like a regular class period, and we have to spread out 3 feet distance as much as possible.
So, Mr. Jaramillo, on that note, I recall that there was classes of 40 students in the PT and the gym classes. Is that going to be a problem?
No, gym classes are much larger than a regular classroom, so there's enough space to maintain the 3-foot distancing.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
What is the status of the air purifiers? Are they being used this year? How is the board conducting that?
Yes, I'm sorry, is it Ms. Scott? Yeah, the air purifiers are available. They've been installed since last year in the building, and they are in every classroom and offices and common areas. And they've been in use throughout the hybrid learning towards the end of the year. And we still have them available and accessible in every single classroom.
So they haven't given you more, just the amount that was there last year? Are they going to give you more, or is just going to be what was allocated for last year using the hybrid method?
Well, again, every room had one already, so there's really no need to have additional ones unless they break down. But every room in our school was equipped with one as part of the preparation from last year. We do have a PPE delivery that's supposed to be coming. I don't know exactly what's going to be on there. Perhaps there will be extra units, but as of right now, all the classrooms already had units throughout our building. We were fortunate. Some schools did not have units throughout every single classroom, but we did.
Okay, Cassandra has her hand up. Go ahead, Cassandra.
Thank you. This is just in regards to the spacing and the lunchroom. I know in previous years, the freshmen and the sophomores and the juniors and seniors all had, they were allocated by their year, by lunchroom. Now, given I know previous years, the freshman lunch has always been pretty much jam-packed. Are there scheduling for the freshmen going to be accommodated so we could have there is more space in the lunchroom to accommodate the students? And I know that in the report you mentioned that other spaces were going to be looked at, but I'm just trying to envision that, and I'm just not seeing that. And I was wondering if you could clarify just a little bit more on what's going to happen with the freshmen, or what the class size is, and if we're able to fit them all in the lunchroom, which I know that's, like I said in previous years, it's pretty packed in there. So I'm just wondering what that would look like.
Yeah, no, we absolutely will not be able to put all the students in the lunchroom at one time. Right now, based off of the calculator CPS has provided, we will have to find spaces for approximately overflow of about 90 students, which right now we're considering, they're asking us to consider classrooms if they're available. They're asking us to consider outdoor spaces while temperatures are nice. They're asking us to consider auditoriums, other gyms or other spaces. Of course, we use our gym for PE, so that's not an option for us. We have discussed possibly using the auditorium space, and looking for some classrooms that will be available. So at this moment, we do not have the final answer. We are still waiting for the final guidance regarding the spacing and personnel and how we're going to supervise all those different areas. But if we were to use a typical classroom, we're looking at about an average of about 3 classrooms spaces, which 90 students is equivalent to 30 in a class, in order to keep all the students. But again, we do have a small auditorium, and we do have the large auditorium, which would be close to the lunchroom, in order to keep the proximity relative to where the food sources are. So that's still being decided. But yes, we will not go over the safe allocation in regards to spacing.
Just one more question. If the students are going to classrooms or to another space besides the lunchroom, would their lunch be a hot meal or something put in a bag? I just want to make sure that I don't want the kids to have cold lunches, or because they have to go into a separate classroom. I can't envision the children with these trays going across the hall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, at this moment, I do not know whether it'll be hot or cold lunches. We're going to try to do everything to advocate to make sure the students that are in the lunchroom get the same thing. I mean, students are outside the lunchroom get the same thing as students in the lunchroom. But at this moment, our food services manager hasn't returned yet, and we haven't received official word regarding that status yet. Hopefully we can receive some more information shortly. But our choice and what we're going to advocate for is the students that are not in the lunchroom get the same experience and same food as the students that are in the lunchroom.
Thank you, Mr. Jaramillo.
You're welcome. I believe we do have a quorum at this point. I don't know if we need to do another roll call vote or.
Unfortunately, I am about to travel, so if we're going to do any kind of voting, it's going to have to happen immediately. Otherwise, I'm going to have to sign out.
Yes, we do have a quorum, and I actually marked the individuals that were present already. So I can tell you who we have if you like, but I've already done it. That way to save time. We have myself, Mr. De Jesus, Ms. Hernandez, Mr. Jaramillo, Mr. Keelis, Ms. Lopez, and Ms. Russo. That's 7 individuals. We do have a quorum.
Mr. Aquiles, you can call the meeting to order and start the meeting officially.
Okay, and we started the meeting as an informational meeting. So I don't, I don't understand. Well, I don't know if a council member could just come in and vote, or they have to be within a most of the part of the meeting. I just don't want this to be an illegal move uh, that we shouldn't do. So yes, I understand that we could go back.
Why would it not? Why would it be a problem? I'm here.
Well,
I'm here.
no, I understand that, but
Sir,
according
look,
to
look, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this because we don't have enough people and we never have a quorum. And I'm trying to be helpful here.
okay,
So
I mean,
we
I
need to
have
make a decision.
Ms. Rusa, give me 1 second. Okay, I would like to call this meeting to order. Everybody keep patient, and we are going to clarify what Mr. Quiles is asking. Technically, Mr. Quiles, what you are asking is not supposed to be done. No member is supposed to just join a meeting to vote and then leave the meeting. It's not supposed to be done that way. We have
Okay,
to
then I'm
align
happy
ourselves
to. Then I'm happy to
the
log out.
rules.
That's fine.
And right now we lost the quorum because Cassandra is she's back.
Look,
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
I'm happy. I'm happy to do whatever it is that's legal, but I have to go. So I was trying to do this to be nice. It's fine. If you need me to log out, I will absolutely leave the meeting, and you can vote at the next meeting. Just
okay.
tell me what you need me to do.
Thank you very much, Ms. Luzo, and be safe.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, I understand we want to move forward and we want to continue, but we have to do it the right way uh, because that's the law. I'm sorry. uh, so we could continue with the reports. Sergeant Davis?
The only report we have now is we don't have a parent advisory. We don't have a student athletic director. We don't have a athletic director report. Teacher report. I can just deliver the teacher report, and all I would say with the teacher report is if we move closer to the school year, we just want to make sure that the emails and all these other things we start receiving so we can get updates. I know as LSC, we have to start thinking about, for instance, students are already emailing teachers. We get more emails than even the main office. And so issues like, is there a uniform the first day? Issues like, you know, what the first day of school looked like and those things, scheduling. And I just think that those things would be, I'm pretty sure that we'll start getting those things, but just letting everyone know that teachers are well inside the communication link, and we have to start getting some of the information, not just the counselors, but we want to make sure we get that information when it comes to that, when students do start emailing us.
Okay. Next report.
For non-teacher, no report.
What's next, Mr. Sergeant Davis?
After non-teacher report, we got community report. We got community and facility and grounds.
$1.
$1.
$1,000. Okay. What else? I believe on the report on that we had on the building, Mr. Jaramillo covered most of it. I have no reports on that. Any other reports?
The only thing I would say is not a report. I did send the certified letters out to the non-active members. That was a scheduled vote today, so we just got to move that to next week. That means do that mean I have to send another letter out again, a certified letter, because we didn't vote this time? I just need information on that, and I can actually contact LSC Relations.
Yeah, as long as you have the certified that you send it out, I believe that's more than enough proof. You don't need to send another one because it was already done. Even though we're not taking a vote today, we could table any positions. We could table the votes on dismissing those council members. So we could table everything for our next meeting. Is that the end of the agenda?
Yes, it is. I just got a question, Mr. Harmio. How I know there's some budget transfers, and I know we didn't. Mr. Russo came on to support, and I do appreciate those things. How detrimental? Because the next time we meet, school will start. Uh, how would that affect you? I just want to know.
Well, we'll definitely have a detrimental effect. So we'll probably have to see if we can call a special meeting to try to vote on these budget transfers and everything else on the agenda.
I agree with you, Mr. Ramillo. I guess as long as it's called either by the chairperson or 3 council members, we could call a special meeting. If there's nothing else, Mr. Jaramillo, before you leave, could you call me after the meeting?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. If there's nothing else, we would like to put a motion that is not going to carry because we don't have no votes. I would like to thank everybody for coming out to this meeting, and we will see you on either the special meeting or the next meeting scheduled for the month of September.
I want to say September 12th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thank you.
Where can I drop my application off for the parent LSC position?
That the applications are at the school. You could pick it up at the school, or you could look it up online under LSC
Well,
Relations.
if she already have the application, you already have the application, right, ma'am?
Yes, I already have one.
You can email it to me because it's not a vote any longer. I mean, it's not we're not doing an election. We'll vote on mid-you next week, I believe. If I'm mistaken, let me know, Mr. Harmio. So you can email it to me. That way I can put it in the file, and then I'll send it to CPS after we make the vote. So I can give you my email. If someone could put it in the chat, because I can't do a chat here. It's CWDavis1 at cps.edu.
Sergeant Davis, you said you send it where?
If somebody can put my email in the chat so she can see it, I don't know, but it's CWDavis1 at cps.edu. You can scan and email it to me, or if you drop it off in the main office and just tell them to give it to me, and then what I do, I hold it to the next meeting, and then I mark after we vote, and then I send it to CPS so you be added to our list.
Okay. What are the office hours?
I
Because I'll just drop the application off at the school.
Yeah, you can stop by the main entrance anytime from 9 to 1. There's somebody at the main entrance from 9 to 1 during the day for meal service, and just let them know that you want to drop this off at the main office, and they will go ahead and call somebody to escort you to the main office to drop it off.
Okay, thank you. I have it no later than I'll bring it tomorrow.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, the application will be reviewed by the council members in the next meeting, and then is when the council takes a vote on whatever applications are there. But thank you for
Okay,
your
that's
interest.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I adjourn this meeting.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. I will remain on until everybody is logged off, and then I will stop recording the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.